sorry. Now let's start. Now, like as let's divide into the DevOps world. Okay. Now, if you start any project, okay, any project means like any web application, mobile application, any product which you are developing with the software companies, there are a different team members are involved in the to develop a one software application. Like you guys are seeing the everyday, right? Every app will like it can take a WhatsApp, it can take Instagram, it can be a Facebook, whatever it could be. All apps are developed by the like a software companies, and they are has the different team members are involved in this to develop this. Not single people can be develop everything. They are divided in this. Like let's say like as programmers, even this they are calling as a different name, like as backend developer, front end developer, okay, and those kind of UI developers, okay, like architectures, product delivery managers, okay, and then there is a people called as like as project managers and DB guys, database side. There is a different team members are involved into develop a application to develop a end-to-end applications. Now, after developing their program and all, they will test their local laptops. Okay, once it is tested, then what they do, they are going to hand over the code to the operation team. This is the dev team. These guys are comes under the dev teams, and these guys are comes under the operation team. Now, who are comes under the operation team is now let's say let's build and deploy engineers. Okay, build and deploy engineers, and let's say networking engineers. Okay, let's say networking engineers. Okay, let's say monitoring engineers, supporting guys, support engineers. And like a support means like L1, L2, L3, like 24/7 to 365 days we have, right? And like as all those guys will be comes under the operation team. Now what they do, they are maintaining the different environments deployment. Okay, like as for example, what is environments means here, let's take a like as if you want to deliver any product, they won't deliver it directly in the production. They will go for one stage, that is a staging environment, and let's say pre-production environment, and then production environment. Okay, there is a different environments are there. Fine. The next what happens in the staging environment, now once they are working staging environment, they move to the pre-prod environment. After the pre-prod is working fine, then we'll go for the production environment. After production environment they deploy, then only we'll get a new notification like as the new version of software will update. Can we update for your software? That will be happening for the every company, every product. For any software application we do the different environments. Now some people are using the 3 environments, some companies using the 4 environments, some companies have the 5 environments also. I worked, okay, different environment they are going to be use this maximum minimum at least they can use for the 3 to 4. Okay, now let's say what happened, this once the developer is developed and they deploy their applications working fine, then after this what they do, they are going to hand over this application to the ops team. Please deploy in the different environments. Now these guys will go and deploy in the staging environment, let's say. Now in the staging environment, if it is not gonna work, that's what these guys will do. What they know like as only deployment procedure, where which server we need to deploy, okay, how to deploy, these guys knows. But if you get any error like as any compile time errors, any runtime errors, if you get, what these guys will simply let them know to the developers, all right, please take care of the this error is we got enough. These guys are say that maybe in case if it is error they will fix. In case if that error is not coming in the development environment, their laptop and all, what they do, no, it's working for my end, can you please check your end, something is going to wrong in the like as in your environment. No, this guy said no, it's everything is fine, it's the same application working in the last week. This like what happened, no, there is no much communication collaboration between these two guys. What's going on under like us, the communication is drawback in the previous days. Nowadays what happened, right, to resolve this communication collaboration, this ops team are involving the dev team, and then they will get the information, what are the tools they are using, what are the versions they are using. One second. Tools, versions are using, okay, what is the like as like whatever software versions environment, like as Ubuntu, CentOS, Alpha, and like as which OS we need to be set up, like in the Docker level, let's say different like as these information we need to like as any property files we need to change. Okay, property files means like as they for local database they are connected, that we forgot to update the DB for local to our staging database URL. If you forget this, then you will get a issue that. Now this information should take from the devel team. Now, if these guys will give the proper information, you need to set up the changes as done by the your environment. Then what happen now? How much fast they develop, that much fast we are going to be delivering the application to the our deployment level. Now then what happens, to improve this communication, we are going to deliver our software products into the very fast to the clients. Okay, if you deliver very fast, what happens now, you will get a more products, you will get a like a lot of money for the companies, right? But you will get a normal salary for every month. That's fine. Now that is what happening, like as it's a like as what this DevOps means. Now these guys are involving the dev team and get this information and set up into the their environment to make them very fast to the deploy your applications, to deploying this procedure. Okay, and we are going to, without waste of time, we are going to use for the different kind of tools. That tools we are going to be learn basically. Okay, no, not in the development tools, we are going to use for the deployment tools, to make them very fast to deploy your applications. What are the tools comes under, that is what we are going to be learn basically. Okay, this development they can be take care of like as Java, Python, Ruby. Okay, what iOS, Android, whatever it may be, they will develop like the front end developers, front end application they develop, back end developer, back end developer, dbgs queries they will return. That's we are not take care about anything. Even if you know those knowledge also, it will be more added advantages for you, because you will find out now where the problem is exactly. You can tell them easily like this if you know like that knowledge. Even that, even you can see that error, you will get to know that's where exactly the problem will come. And further moving on, you guys will be learn that as well. Understand guys what DevOps guys will do? Simply, now whatever we are going to be get the information from dev team, involve in the dev team and get that information, what are the setup we need to do for deployment purpose to run your application. We need to set up that, we need to make it the fast deployment. Okay, using this to deploy fast deployment, we are using the different kind of tools. Fine, clear guys? Understand now guys, what is the DevOps? Is it clear, right? Definition of what exactly DevOps guys you can do.
Yeah, yeah, clear.
Guys, drop your message in chat box. Okay, please cooperate with this and collaborate with this. Now then you guys will be understand more clearly. Dude, this is a demo session to Rahman. What is this? If you want, you can ping me personally, but it's not a good way to ask these questions in the demo sessions. Okay, if you are a professional, please, if you want, you can ask me separately, privately. You can ping me this. If I'm free, definitely I'll give the answer for you. If you're fresher, then ask the demo questions. Fine, cool guys. Then next we'll go for the like as that is for one of the problem he is facing. He is asking like yes, okay, who don't know anything, just this is not our demo session topic. Okay, this is long back after 3 months 4 months session he is asking. Okay, fine, fine guys. Okay, now let's discuss about the, first of all, before going to go into the DevOps, first let's understand the, what is the software development lifecycle, SDLC. Now in the software development lifecycle, we are using like as what does mean software development means, to develop any product, anything, we follow the some life cycles like as anything. For example, you want to travel one place to another place, what are the steps we need to take care of? First we need to get ready to from home, and then we need to move out from the home, and then we'll get in the bus and any vehicle, and then take ticket, and then like anything, right? The same way we had anything, we had a procedure. The procedure we need to follow for any application side, even it can be civil engineers, it can be mechanical engineers, any software engineers, they will be follow the kind of life cycles here. What is the software development life cycle here is like basically, now if you take for example, you are starting any business under, now they will come up with their requirement. Let's say for example, I want a one mobile application, I want a one website. Okay, now anything, they will come up with the requirement. First of all, what we need to take, we need to take a requirement gathering from the client. First we need to take a requirement gathering from the client. Then after taking the requirement gathering, what we need to do? We need to be analysis requirement. What he is asking, what we are, how many developers we had, how many staff we had, what are the equipment we need to be go for. Okay. And then after this analysis, we need to be go for the design. Once the design is done, they will go for the development. Once the development is done, we'll go for the deployment. Once the deployment is done, we go for the release. Once the, okay, we need to go for development and deploy, and like before after test, let's say test and deploy. Once the deploy, we'll go for the release. Once the release, then we go for the maintenance of the product. If any new bugs are there, any new feature enhancement. Okay, now we need to go for this life cycle. To implement this life cycle, we have a different methodologies in our software development. What are the methodologies we have? Let's say waterfall model. Now this is one of the model which we are knows like as already. If you are software development, even if you are computer background student, you will get to know like as what is a waterfall model, right? Now what is the waterfall model is? It's like basically it is used by the in-house projects. Let's say in-house project means now they are developed long term, okay, without any hurry, but like kind of okay. And then this is not a good for the clients. Okay, clients are no accept for the waterfall models because of what is the reason behind they are not accepting. This is the delivery term is a long. For example, let's say if you want to develop the application, they will take a long term to show their application. Let's say for example, they'll ask the software companies 12 months of time. Okay, 12 months they will ask, then the client will be, if they are accept, now you are going to be take it 12 months, and then we are going to be start the implementation on this. In case they are accept, then now let's say you are started on the development. Now what is the disadvantage of here is basically, if you give the requirement, if you want to change anything, like as you started the travel business, and meanwhile after 3 4 months, even you are thinking about inside the same, you want to add the one more feature called as, let's say you started the car business also. Let's say you are going to give the rent for the cars also, let's say. Now that you can't add that feature. Okay, in this is the drawbacks in the waterfall model. Let's say for example they accept the waterfall model, you accept the waterfall model, they started the waterfall model. Then what happened? No, they, for example, once the, like as once which is the, like as requirement gathering is done, deployment is done, like as testing is done, now development is done, testing is done. Now when we are in the deployment phase, for example, if some issues came in the deployment, some like as after 11 months or something, so now you got issue with the deployment. Now what happened? No, in this model they are not going for the previous phase, they will go for the, they will think about any requirement will take wrong or anything, and any analysis we took care wrong, or design we took care wrong, or development we took care wrong, or testing is done, again takes a long term. Like for example, this is just example, okay, they may take 3 months extra, for example, let's say. Now what happened? No, the clients, we need to wait for the 3 more months extra, and then he wasted his money and he wasted his time and all that. That is the reason this model we never be, the clients never be follow for this model. That is the reason software industry using by the one of the model in the currently are trending, or anytime, let's say that model we are using by the agile model. What is the main difference this model and this model is? Now here we are seeing the output in the after 12 months, but here in this model they will see the every sprint. Okay, here they calling a different terminology here in the agile model. What is the terminology we are calling is sprint, let's say scrum, okay, like kanban, dashboard. Okay, there is a different terminology we are using. What is a sprint means? It's a three, for example, let's say 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks of time to give the one sprint. Means every 3 weeks we are going to deploy the new features. Okay, every 3 weeks we are going to deploy the new features in our application. Okay, well, scrum means what happened? This is a meeting. So we are calling scrum meeting. What does mean here? Every day they will meet 1 hour for all the developers, all the, like as every in the team members, they will discuss under every issues are there, any dependency are there. Okay, what are the issues are facing today, what we are developing today, what we are done yesterday, what we are going to tomorrow. Like they have the feature planning, you can make it the in the meeting this. Okay, and then kanban dashboard is, they are going to be create all the tickets, like as tickets means like as tasks. Okay, tickets means like as, let's say tasks, instead of tickets, let's say tasks. They will put all tasks in the one dashboard. They will show like as what is the in progress, what is the development, under development, what is already done. Okay, what is any blocking. Okay, like as any dependency, they will be seeing the everything in the one place. It can be used the Jira dashboard or GitHub dashboard, anything they can use for to create a tasks here. Fine. That is a we are calling as a dashboard here. Now what happened now, they will take a 3 weeks of time to deliver one feature. In this also same development life cycle, they will follow the same. In case in this agile model, if you had a issue with the deployment phase, now what happened, right? In the, if you have a deployment phase, they won't go for the first phase like waterfall model, just they will go for the testing phase. Just they will go for the testing phase. If you are finding the bug here, they will come back to the deployment phase again back, and they will be deploy immediately. Okay, then if you are not finding testing phase, they will go for the previous phase. If you're not finding, they will go for this year, and they will come up a little bit very faster compared to the waterfall model. And the next, even every 3 weeks we are going to be delivering. In case for example this week work you can't be delivered, like as this sprint, this for example this sprint work you can't be complete. Now what you need to do, they will be assigning for the next sprint work also. Okay, this week sprint, next week sprint, next we need to deliver for the after 3 weeks of time. If you're not delivering the properly of the this deployment, if anything is facing issue, that is the reason we'll get a lot of works burden in the like as in the sprint model. But you know, this is model is good for the clients. Okay, this is the model is very tough for the like, that is the reason now most of the people are why liking the product based company, why liking the service. Even product based companies also has the sprint models, but you know, it has in-house kind of, it has in-house kind of projects here. Not that much pressure we won't get in the product based companies. That's like product based companies. Okay, because it has their own products. Let's say service based company, we need to work for clients whatever they will say, we need to be like follow with them. It's happening in the software, you will understand like as one the terminology moving on, you will understand what is a product based company, what is a service based company, how it, they will work and all. Fine. Now let's say you need to be complete for the upcoming release for the what are the tasks you have in the sprint. Then next what happened, let's say one example, let's not take a one example for this scenario, why this is the DevOps came to the picture. Now this is fine if you are complete for the next week. Okay, not sure guys, do you have any issues?
No, it's clear actually.
Okay, fine guys. Now this is the way it's happening for the like as agile model in the software industry. In case let's say why this sprint is pending, what is the reason behind the scene, the deployment is why it's failing. Why why you can't be deploy in the last minute, why can't deploy in the immediately after development? For example, let's say I'm the developer. Okay, they given us a couple of tasks for me, they given a task for me, I have completed in a week. I tested my locally, it's working fine. Then what happened, I'm waiting for the deployment release for the like after 3 weeks, let's say. Now you completed in a week of time, then you need to wait for the 2 more weeks of to deploy for the release purpose. Now you say like as your task is working fine. Sir, now tell me, if the task is working locally, then it should be work for the like as remote also, right? What is the problem behind this? There is a lot of no, there is a some miscommunication. Like there is a some input you are accepting some kind of input. The people are giving the some kind of input is different. Now, like as there is a lot of scenarios like as in the microservice architecture level. You know, these are the things happening for the everyday issues and all. Now, one like you will understand that later sessions. Now, what happened? Now, for example, today you pass the two parameters, let's say. Okay, I can't explain this kind of right now, don't understand. Now let's say two parameters if you're passing, now you are do develop here like that two parameters. So now what happened, now these guys are another guy dependency service, they will be through the four parameters, input is four parameters. Now what happened, now your application can't work for the that scenario. Okay, there's communication gap, and then the implementation whatever you not communicate with the other teams and all, there's a problem with happening by the two not working for your service properly. Okay, now even if that is a kind of deployment issues we are facing basically. Now if you in case like as if you not deploy the 1 week, then you need to be complete for the next week task. Now the people thinking like why we can't be wait for the 3 weeks of time to once the development is done, that service is working for the other service or not, dependency services or not, like is this service working properly or not, I need to test immediately. Once the development is done, I need to like as deploy, test, like as everything like development, testing, deployment, everything. Let's say go for this way. Once the development testing test cases will be executed, deploy. Okay, now I want to make it this is life cycle without any failure. I want to know within a minute, within a 1 minute type time. Once you deploy, 1 minute means don't fix the time, okay, like as based on this deployment happens, that will take that time, okay, like for within a minutes, okay, within a minutes that guy will know that code is deployed in the different environments or not, like as that environment is working or not, any compile time errors, any runtime errors after deploying, any like as service dependency issues are there or not, everything will get to know immediately, everything. That's the reason if you are the DevOps guy, if you are manual deployment, you have a work completely in your hand, okay, like as every the developer will be change a small one commas changes and deploy. They will, if you are manual deployment, they will ask, "Arey, please deploy this application." Again they will come up with the one more comma, they will ask the deployment. That is the development side happening, like as they will small parameter they will change, small variable name they will change, okay, like small compile time errors and all. They will forget the some import statement like something. Now like lot of manual deployment, instead of this manual do, what we do, we are going to be make it this into the automation way. We are making this automation pipeline. To make it this automation pipeline, we need to be written for the, we need to learn the couple of tools. Who will do this automation pipeline is, this is our job basically. Okay, once the development is done, this is once the development is done, to make this automation pipeline to deploy our application, who will take care of responsibility for this, this is DevOps guys is the responsibility for to make them the automation deployment. Like as if anything issue is coming, we need to revert back to the again to the developer. This is the issue we got, can you please deploy again, can we have a look about again. That's what happening by the this end-to-end development and then deployment phase. To making this automation pipeline, there is a lot of tools are involving in this life cycle. Okay, what are the tools will come, what are the our life cycle, and all we'll see in the next minute. Understand guys what exactly we need to do to make them, what are the development is done to make them very fast deployment, to get to know the result of the developer. Now we need to be written the some pipeline code. That pipeline code we are calling as a CI/CD pipeline. That pipeline we need to be implemented with using the different kind of tools. The tools we need to be learned as a DevOps guy. Understand guys, clear now? Kamil, please mute dude if you're not talking. Kamil Khan. Fine, I'll mute it here. For checking for the person and muting, it's a time wasting for us. That's the reason I'm asking. Fine. Actually my tone little bit is different today guys, okay, and anyway, clear now guys, clear right, what is exactly we need to do, DevOps guy need to do, where our role will be come with the picture, right? Now let's say, like let's discuss about the our architecture also, like as DevOps also has the, this is the terminology we are using in real time scenario, guys, remember this is a very important. Let's start the our life cycle. This is you need to be remember, this is you need to be learn naturally, okay. Let's for example, let's say this is your DevOps. I'm making the, don't think about the structure and looking, okay, making the very fast here, okay. It's, I'm going to return later, okay. Let's say for example, once the development is done, we need to be build the application. Build the application means we need to compile the code, let's say compile the code, and the, let's say once the test the code, and then let's, once the building means in the building testing everything is happen, okay. Once the testing is happen, we got a final output, let's say final output we got. To deploy this final output, we need a servers, we need a servers. To taking the servers, we are calling as a build. This is the build phase, this is the test phase, let's say this is the provisioning phase to taking a Linux servers, and this is the configuring phase, then this is the deployment phase, deployment delivery, and this is the for monitoring phase, and let's say feedback phase. Now this life cycle will happening for the continuously, this life cycle will be coming to the continuously without we have a under the plan for what need to be done, okay. And this life cycle will be happening for continuously building, testing, provisioning. Provisioning means taking a Linux servers, okay, taking a Linux servers, okay. process is same, but like as commands are different. Like for example, how we can compile the Java code, that is a different. Okay, how the Node.js application we need to compile, that is a different. How the Python code we need to build, that is a different case. We are the different build tools, different kind of tools we are going to be used. Commands are different, will come, but procedure tools are same, right? The commands, even the developer will give this. This is the command need to be compiled. This is the softwares we need to be installed. This is the plugins you need to be used. This is the command will be execute your script, that will be given by the developers also. Okay, fine. Now this is will happening by the continuously. Now basically this DevOps is like cycle will happening for continuously. Okay, this life cycle happening by the continuously. Now this, for this procedure we are calling as a CI, continuous integration, continuous testing, continuous provisioning, and continuous configuring, continuous deployment, or continuous delivery. Let's say continuous deployment delivery. Now what is the difference, sir? Means, for example, deployment is that we are going to deploy in the different environments, like as a dev environment, staging environment, pre-production environment, and production environment. That is a deployment. When the we are calling delivery means, once we are deploying the production, that we are calling as a delivery. Okay, deployment is happening by the different environments. When we deploy in the production, that we are terminal we are calling as a delivery. Provisioning means taking a servers, like as Linux server. For example, you have a output, like for example, you have a Java output. Let's say var file you have. Now, if you want to deploy the var file, where we need to deploy? Okay, you can't deploy in your mobile application, right? In your mobile, right? Now, you need to take one Linux server. If you have Linux server, we can deploy directly. This is the first time. Let's say it's kind of first time. Okay, when we do the first time, it will come. The later session, like next deployment, it won't be come in the picture. If you don't have, we can take. If you already have, we can deploy directly configuring. If you already configuring, these steps is a one time kind of, okay, configuring, provisioning. First step when you take any Linux mission, to installing softwares, to taking a Linux server, this will come to the one time for any deployment. Okay, like as any cluster you can create. Okay, or else, now why we are using provisioning means, like we're using the different tools like as Terraform and all. We can create, we can destroy at a time. Okay, you will understand later session. Yes, okay, think about just simply provisioning means taking a server, like as installing softwares in the server, deploying the application in that server, and checking the monitoring the application working or not, server is working or not, we need to monitoring. And if it is any issues will come, we need to give the feedback to the developer, and developer again develop, again building happening, again testing happening. Now this provisioning configuring will come to the next step. The first time is done, this won't become next. Okay, because it's already configured, this is already we have provisioning. This is the first time these two steps will be come to the picture. Okay, like as if you are config, like as if you one, like as dev environment you set up, later tomorrow you need to deploy the, like as you need to develop the, like a staging environment. Now this again these two come to the picture. Okay, you need to take a new server, you need to be configure the new softwares in that. Is it clear now, guys? Simple. If you want to
Uh,
development, testing, deployment, yeah.
so one quick question. So typically, I was just thinking. So DevOps and again like cloud engineer roles and the depth of it will be different, right? Like maintaining the application infrastructure or something else. But this is again like maybe one time we have to provision the resources and configure it. Is it?
Its provisioning configuring will come to the one time. Okay, that is for any provision. It can be cloud, it can be on premises, whatever it can be. Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
when come to the picture in the cloud management and all, that will be managing for all your infrastructure. What are the access we are going to provide, what are the data
Mm-hmm.
is coming, how much data is coming, how to manage, how to set up for firewalls, how to set up for maintaining, how
Security
to
and
take backup, and
mhm.
everything we should be taken care of the cloud management.
Okay, so that will be more of
Rahman,
a
again,
cloud
again,
engineer.
I'm telling you, Rahman. Okay, this is not the session for you, dude. Okay, fine. That is the terminology is not involved for this DevOps. Okay, blue green deployment, canary deployment, and all. Canary deployment, I'll explain for you only for him, guys. For example, let's say if you want, I'll share the one environment. Okay, maybe you join for the, maybe you already know me, or my students or something, I don't know from where you come. Now canary deployment is kind of like as one, some percentage will go for the one version, some percentage will go for the another person, like 30% for v1, 30% for like as another version. If everything working fine, the second version, just move to the all traffic to the particular version. That is for canary deployment we are called. Fine. Cool. If your manager will ask, then just Google now what is the canary deployment in. If you Google the what is the canary, you will understand what it is means. I told again, this is not the class for solving your problems. This is for my class. Okay. For me, like demonstration, who are starting the career with the DevOps. Understand, Rahman? Please, there is a lot of groups out there. You can ask for any groups. Understand, guys? Cool. This is DevOps lifecycle. Guys, I'm a little bit stick kind of. Okay, my way of talking will be like that only. Don't like feel bad. Guys, clear now? This DevOps lifecycle. Okay. Now, in this terminology, continuous integration, continuous like as testing, continuous provisioning, continuous configuring, continuous deployment, continuous monitoring, we have a different kind of tools are there. Those tools we need to be learned. Okay. Now let me tell you what are the tools comes under. Now first, where we need to start? First, we need to start with the Linux terminology, Linux commands. Okay, we'll start with Linux commands, and I'm go to little bit fast here, guys. Okay, we'll go for Git, and then we'll go for GitHub. Okay, and then we'll go for Jenkins, and then Jenkins will go for the Maven. Okay, and this explanation we have done for the last session. I'll share that video, guys. Okay, and this after the Maven, we'll go for the Nexus for to storing the output of your Maven builds or sharing the libraries with your teammates, like developers. And then let's say Sonar Cube for static code analysis, like as vulnerabilities, and then like resource pooling, those kind of things we can find it. Sonar Cube, and the next Apache Tomcat to deploy your application. Okay, and then we are going to return for the pipeline with this high level, like real-time kind of pipeline. Like as we are going to be learn about the our CI/CD process. This is the old way of tools which are going to be covering in this course. Okay, and then we need to go for the lot of things like as JUnit integration, email notifications, like as masters. There is a many concepts will come to the Jenkins. Okay, I'll show like as what are the how many days will take for the each tool. I have written that also. And just wait, dude. Don't ask any questions. I'll give it time. Please mute. SWA. Okay, I don't know how much lazy you people. At least you guys are type. You guys are set up your name in your account. Nothing will happen, dude. I never be. I won't get anything for you if you give your name. I won't get anything for your thing. Okay, to call at least if something will happen. And then containerization tools we are going to cover with the Docker. In this inside the Docker we are going to cover with the Docker CLI command line interface. Okay, Docker CLI, and then Docker Hub, and the next Docker Compose. I'm not covering in this course for the Docker Swarm basically. Okay, and then after this Docker we are going to be covered for the Ansible. Okay, we are going to be go for the configuration management tool Ansible. This is the containerization tools for Docker, and the next we are go for the Kubernetes for container orchestration. Now this Docker can be deploy your containers as a single kind of one containers. Now if you want to maintain these containers, if anything will go down and up, it will be helpful for this Kubernetes container orchestration tools. This Ansible is helpful for like as if you want to install the same software in the 10 servers. Now instead of doing it manually one each and individual, we can 10 servers we can do at a time using this software. Okay, and the next we are going to cover for the mounting tools, like we are going to cover the Prometheus and then Grafana. Not I don't have application level mounting guys. Okay, even if anything find that time I'll definitely share, and if that is will be extra bonus. Okay, and then I will show like as how to set up, how to create a graphs, and how to get the Grafana templates, how to use the Grafana templates, all things. Okay, and then next is okay Prometheus, Grafana, and then we are going to cover for the node exporter inside this to monitor the your Linux servers. You guys don't know this terminology first of all. If you this already knows, already learned somewhere, and who already knows the, like, I'll tell you one thing, the people are asking me like course content. For example, let's say if I give the course content, if I can't cover those topics, what will happen? Course content can be put the many things. Okay, like as my course content, on top of it you will get them many things, like as many discussions, many issues, many day-to-day activities. There's many things you will be get to know that. Don't depends and don't trust for the, like as after seeing the, what you can say, like a pamphlets or maybe let's say course content. Fine. Like if you know, don't know, like is what that means, what is that concept and what you understand. That's what my question. The first time, if you are learning the first time, right? Fine. That's for who already knows. That's fine. They will understand what it contains. What is means you need to be learned at it. Like writing it, like even not only you, even I wasted my money for when I was in the second year, third year, like a second experience, that second year of my experience and all. I started my career with I got a one requirement to do in Hadoop. Okay, like a time series database and all. Okay, for the IoT project. Now that time I go for the one institute, they told me a lot of syllabus and all. I thought it was there is a many tools he is going to be teaching. After join 2 months, nothing. After 40 days completion, he is just definition for each tool, and then after that he left in the institute. Okay, there's a couple of things happened in my bad experience in my previous life. Fine. Anyway, now I'm saying this. If you're writing the multiple tools, multiple names, topics and all, if you don't know, you can't understand that. Okay, if you already knows, that's fine. Like at least some guys knows already come up with the what are the tools are there in the DevOps, what are the tools need to be learned already. Some people are learned somewhere in the internet resources, those will be understand, guys. Fine. The next I'm going to cover for this, after monitoring, we are going to start with the AWS services. Okay, after AWS, like after AWS, then we'll go for the AWS. There are a lot of services which we are going to point out the previously. Okay, now I'm going to show you this EC2 IAM, all these services we are going to be cover. Auto scaling S3, Cloud Friend, Certificate Manager, ECR, ECS for Get SNS, Route 53, Elastic Beanstalk, Cloud Trail, VPC, Lambda, Route 50, RDS, CloudWatch. Okay, all these services we are going to be cover in the our AWS. And then most of things we can do with the Terraform also. Okay. And the next is after AWS, we are going to cover with the Terraform. Okay. On top of it, we are going to learn about the Nginx, HTTPD. Yes. That is a Kubernetes will come the in EKS only. Okay. Even I'm going to cover ECS for Get also. Okay. Like even we can do for the Kubernetes in the two ways. Some of services, some of concept I'm going to explain for the like as EKS with like as in Ingress load balancer or kind of concept I'll use for the EKS cluster. Okay, fine. We'll go for the KubeADM first, and then we can see the kubectl also using for the EKS. Okay, that's fine. Not Prometheus, it's a Kubernetes level. Okay, don't confuse again. EKS means Elastic Kubernetes Services from AWS service. It's a one of the AWS service. Okay, if you know the Kubernetes, that EKS is not a big thing. EKS is very simple, like as you don't need to manage anything. You need to know like as what are the concepts are there, how to return the deployment object, service object, namespaces, pod, replica set, all the things you should know. It's common for the like cluster creation, installation is the very easy in the EKS. Other than that, remaining concepts are common. Okay, fine. HTTPD, and then we are going to learn about the it's common tools like as mobile extern, putty. Okay. Okay, fine. All those things we are going to be covering this, and then I'll show the content, guys. Okay, you guys are aggressively looking for the content. I'll show you what need to be this. Let me show the content, guys, and then okay. Okay, what's content? Wait, where is this? Okay, now see this. Now we are going to start for this is the kind of definitions like as what you need to be understand. I'll show today. Even if it is possible, I'll going to cover for with slides. Just I'll take a 10 more minutes extra, guys. Wait for some time. And this Linux we are going to cover the 15 hours maximum, all like as whatever day-to-day activities, important things and all. On top of it, I'm going to give the best resources to practice, learn and all. Okay, this shell script, it is included in the shell script. There is a 4 days we are going to cover the shell scripts. Okay, like as there are many things like as conditions, loops, okay, and how we can use the usage, how we can write in the cron tab, and how to run the scripts in the cron tab level. What are the scenarios we are going to be get? Okay, there is a real, even I'll show the real-time scripts which I use in real-time scenario. Okay, but you can't say these scripts. Okay, I show the how what are the things we are used. That's and the next source code management tools, the git we are going to cover in the like as 9 hours. And the next we are going to cover with the Jenkins content like as all the tools. 25 hours I'm going to cover for the Jenkins here. Okay, all these 2 units are the Jenkins. And the Docker we are going to cover with the 21 hours. Okay, all the topics here. And the next Ansible we are going to cover with the 13 hours. Okay, which is contents here. And the next, this is for the Prometheus mounting. It's a 4 hours I'm going to cover in this. And the Kubernetes I'm going to cover in the 15 hours. Okay, all these topics we are going to be covered for the like as maximum all the objects which are using in the Kubernetes. I'm going to cover the 15 hours of Kubernetes source also. Okay, that is for here. And Kubernetes and Terraform and all. Terraform even I'll cover for the 25 hours, 20 hours plus maybe. Okay, that's course content is different. Even I have a separate course for the Kubernetes. To sorry, Terraform. Somewhere it I've written. Okay, Terraform is it Terra? Yeah, I'll come back this guys. I'm not sure like where I have put it this. Yeah, let's see the Terraform. It contains the content or not. Yes, Terraform content. Okay, we are going to cover the maximum all topics in the Terraform. I see. This Terraform, I'm going to cover the 0.12 version. Okay, even Terraform released for 1.0 version recently. Fine. This is the content we are going to cover for this. This minimum takes like as 15 to 20 hours of Terraform also. Right. And then next, I'm going to cover in this interview questions, day-to-day activities, okay, and end-to-end projects. Everything will be there in this course. Now, and then, yeah, I forgot that. We are going to cover for the Python 1 week of Python, guys. Python basics and Boto 3. We are going to cover for 1 week, right? Python basics along with just once you know like as what is import statement, how to Python return syntax, we go into it. Boto 3 we are going to be covering this. Fine. Python basic, this is a 1 week of session, just 5 classes this. What extra you mean? Just count that 5 months means for Monday to Friday daily 1 hour. It's a learning for Ansible is entire your life is not enough, dude. What's the name? Okay, Ansible has the like as hundreds of modules. You can't use for the hundreds of modules in real-time scenarios. I'll give all the concepts and how to implement, how to use that, how to handle the Ansible. Okay, you can't be learn for any tool like even Kubernetes, everything entire your life you set up. Then even Kubernetes guys, like what are the services then they are implemented, even they don't know, because the people are there's a many people are contributing this. They are implementing the one feature, there are another implement people is using the another implementation. Okay, even though if you are in the software development, what are the service you deploy this last 1 month? If you ask the question in that 1 month, then you need to be checked for this. I told, right, I'm going to cover the 15 hours. Okay. For the next, like as even I'm going to, no dude, I'll show for everything that we'll do tomorrow session. Okay. How to set up for Linux. We'll cover the AWS session tomorrow. What is the cloud computing, how to create a AWS account, how to practice Linux commands. Everything will be show the tomorrow session. Okay. AWS I cover for the like as 20 hours, 20 to 25 hours. Okay. This course cost is the 20,000. Okay. That we'll discuss this. All the questions I can't cover today. I'll share that video. You guys can be go through this. 20,000 rupees, and you can 2 installment you can pay, and it will be the you can take a 40 days gap for the second installment. Okay, and then terms and condition I'm going to go for. Okay, even once you can pay for after 4 classes, like as you can pay for the Friday class if you want to interested. Okay, till you don't need to pay, and once you pay, it's not a refundable after next day itself. Remember that. And the next is if you drop the middle of the course, you will lose your access to the previous whatever you pay. That also you need to be continue complete the course. If you're not completed, you need to pay the full amount. You will get all the videos of that batch. Then even if you miss anything, you can join for the next batch. Only one batch you have an option for the next batch. Okay, completely you can live, but you will get your batch videos. You can't get for the next batch videos. Okay, fine. I'll share the Rahman. You can ping me that if you are interested to join the course. Okay, I'll ping the document. Okay. Okay, your humble requester. I don't know who you are, but I know I thought like as you are one of. Let me show this again. I want to show something, guys. Okay, not this. 1 second. Let me show this. Yeah, read this if you want. It will support replica set, ingress. Okay, even I'm going to add for this Argo CD. Even I'm going to add for the how we can use for the like as Helm. All those we are going to be covered for the. I'm going to add that next later. This is for the until this. Even I'm going to add a couple of things for the next further. No, I won't show Sumit. I won't show the real laptop for my company's laptops. Okay, that's fine. Thanks, Rahman. If you don't join that case, okay, fine. Implementing live means what? You don't want to join. Thanks. I'm not teaching for you only. Whatever I know, I'm going to teach. Okay. We have started working on the Puma, not for the Istio. Right. I'm not teaching for you specifically. Okay. Even if you Istio and anything service mesh I'm going to add, I'm going to add that. I'm not sure you are my student. Okay. I'm not saying you are my students. You are saying that 20% of your tools are implementing live or not. It does mean here. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Okay, guys. Any questions? Yes, guys. I'm going to provide for these videos or documents. Okay. Interview questions. Okay. All those we are going to be share with you guys. Okay.
Madhu, tomorrow also same time.
Yeah. Same time, same link. Guys can be joined.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, guys. And see you then tomorrow. Bye, guys. If anybody wants recording video,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah.
Sir, entire batch timing will